What's happening? This is the Tap In Podcast. We are live inside the Tap In studio, man.
Yeah.
I got a special guest in the building. Man, I've been wanting to pick this dude brain for the longest, man. Donte, man. What's happening, man?
Man, I'm chilling, man. I'm glad I'm here.
Yeah.
I've been on the circle back since the last interview.
Yeah.
And tap in with you. And like I say, I had some questions.
Yeah.
Because I love the podcast thing, and I think that the voice of the people is resonating right now.
Yeah.
And resonance is a thing of this age right now too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when we get into the metaphysical aspects of it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you watched the interview with Terrence Howard that he just had.
With
PG, with Patrick.
Patrick, yeah, I did.
Yeah, and he was talking about the harmonic balance, the frequency flow, and the flow state of how physics, mathematics,
Yeah.
ancient geometry, celestial, particulates and so forth, and how, going all the way back to Isaac Newton and Albert Einstein, how they had it all wrong. And basically, we're in this space and time right now where things have changed, bro. And there's a thing called the 20-year paradox. So in the cycle, this is ancient geometry right here. These shapes and these patterns, those are sequences. And they hold the balance of life, right? Through Akashic knowledge. And so when you look at your life, people talk about breaking generational curses.
Yeah.
The reason why it's generational, and what is a generation, right? A generational period is an age, and that cycle continues and repeats itself. The average human is life expectancy of about 70 years old, right? But if you look at the transition and the flow state of life, you will see that everything kind of what we call mirrors and flips on itself every 20 years. And if a person studies themselves enough, they'll see the patterns of their own life path. It's very visual.
Yeah.
And I've been able to tap into it. This shit is crazy, bro. I've tapped into it, and I've actually visually seen the life flow of my own life and the patterns of my own life.
How were you able to tap into it? What did you do?
Once you just become in tune with yourself and you start to open up and start to channel just yourself, a lot of it really has to do with spending time with yourself. So I think a lot of it has helped me by being single, right? A lot of people are consumed in relationships. They're in and out of relationships, so they're married. A lot of people have their children every day. I got 3 beautiful daughters, but they're not with me every day. So that's a gift, but also there's blessings that come with having that proximity. But the gift that I've learned in that space of solidarity is that I spend a lot of time with self. And in doing so, you hear self. And then you start to unpack yourself. Because, in relationships, right, you come home to your wife, she comes home to her husband, right? There's a lot of, what I would say, reassurance. But when you don't got nobody to come home to, ain't nobody to reassure you.
Right.
You got to fucking reassure yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And also, too, and I'm not discrediting relationships, but a lot of things are like, in relationships, I feel like a lot of times within that reassurance, people aren't pushed to their highest because there's a level of comfort there. And when you don't have no one to reassure you or to give you comfort, there's the thing that I've experienced as being a single man. Just sleeping with a woman when I do sleep with one, right? And being in the bed with a woman, and I wake up and it's wintertime and it's cold than a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to get out the bed.
Right.
Right? You want to roll over and out, you know what I'm saying? But as a single man, though, I've experienced waking up in that cold-ass bed in the winter and getting my ass up and going to work and going to hustle. You ain't got shit to roll over into. You got to get your ass up, right?
Yeah.
But I know the difference, and I've been able to study that and understand how that works. And so that's the reason why I don't bring anyone into my space like that and just occupy that space, because there's so much peace there and there's so much knowledge there. You don't want to disrupt that flow. And so to bring someone into that space, bro, that person has to be in alignment because it's a real trajectory of energy going out.
Yeah.
And you gotta harness it and keep it safe. And if you don't feel that, you could be in that space with somebody and share that space, fuck that, I ain't bringing nobody in it. Hey, and then if I do bring somebody into that space, it's temporary. And that's the low vibration. Because if we not on a high vibration, we're going to keep it low.
Right.
And that's when we just get into it, having a good time. You've been in a low vibration.
Yeah.
And it's cool there. I can do everything there with you. But after that shit, you got to get the fuck home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Man. Yeah, man, you are like speaking to me because I'm recently divorced. You know what I'm saying? So I've been like probably about the last 8 months, 9 months, just been at my crib, just chilling. You know what I mean? I like being able to have my own space. You know what I mean? My daughter comes over, when I get her, but when she's gone, I just like being able to do whatever I want to in my house. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's like I say, I don't want to call it a gift and a curse because it's not a curse.
I think that's what it is, though.
It's not a curse, though. It's only a curse if you're not utilizing that space properly. I'll give you an example of how I look at it, right? I got 3 daughters. 19, she's in college. 15, she's in high school, gearing up to go to college. And I got my 11-year-old, and she's in the 6th grade. And I look at it as, okay, my children aren't with me every day. I don't have the responsibilities of taking them to school, getting up at 5 in the morning, having to pick them up from school, having them take them to the practices and, doing all the things that the mother has to do. Yeah. That's why I respect what the mother does. But in exchange for that freedom that you have, you would be a motherfucking fool not to position yourself to be a beneficial factor to your children in that voided space. And a lot of men just waste that fucking time. So what I'm saying is when you are in that space alone, you have to capture the essence of that space, but multiply it. And that's where you have to not just be focused on fucking off, wasting time, sitting there jacking off and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I say jacking off literally and non-literally, right?
Yeah.
You have to take, because think about it, and this is a thing that I give a lot of mothers credit for. When you look at life and progress, right, and how you want to elevate yourself, it takes time, right, to elevate. But imagine that in a 24-hour day, right, of that 24-hour day, you're going to spend at least 8 to 10 hours of resting, eating, and showering. The rest of the time, you have to be focused on whatever your trajectory for the day is, right? Now, for a mother, 50% of that time is consumed by the kids. So if you're a man who's not being consumed with that 50%, that 50% needs to count for something. And if it's not, then your kids get older, and then they looking at you like, Daddy, what's up? What we doing?
Right.
Nigga, you bet not say you ain't got no money. Nigga, you bet not say we ain't going on vacation. Bro, you better not have no excuses because the mama done sat there and did everything, and that's why I respect that lane.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, don't let her have a husband or a boyfriend because, nigga, you got a stepdaddy over there. If he's a good man, you got a stepdaddy over there carrying all that other weight that you could be carrying. But in that space, though, if you're not being productive with that time, it's time wasted.
Time wasted, yeah.
But if you be productive with that time, you can get farther. And most women can't hit their goals and get where they want to go because that 50% is being consumed with the kids. So I don't necessarily judge people for why they haven't achieved some of their goals or their dreams because having kids, bro, will mitigate your progress because it's an exchange.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's an exchange. It's almost like that is the product. That is your job.
Yeah.
So therefore, you got to fill that space with everything that you want, and that's why when children are raised in great homes, they become a product of their environment.
Would you ever get married?
Yeah, I
you
will.
would?
To the right person. And I come from the game. We,
yeah.
You know that.
Yeah.
So I ain't with all that bullshit. Like, don't come over here with that bullshit, bitch. You gotta get away. You gotta wake up like 2 or 3 days ago. You know what I'm saying? But, and I say bitch respectfully, you know, because a lot of women carry themselves the same way, and most of them carry themselves in that capacity.
Mm-hmm.
But for me to find a great woman, man, in this world, bro, it's like a needle in a haystack.
It is. It is. Especially somebody of your caliber, right? You know what I mean? I would put you up there like as a, what is it, 5%er?
I'm a 1%er.
You're a 1%er. I would put you up as a 1%er. But
5%er meaning knowledge. What's
okay.
What's the science?
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I follow you.
But just to speak to that, most 5%ers are broke.
Because all they know is knowledge.
Exactly. And most conscious people are broke. You know what I'm saying? So I put myself in the 1% club because, for one, I am in the 1% club.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just necessarily financially. The finances, actual monetary, financial, like, value has no value. Because what is money without knowledge? You don't even know what the fuck to do with it. And if you got knowledge, you know how to create it. So money has no value. So the percentile of that 1% is this, right? Especially when you talk about the black man in today's society, 2025, right? Bro, if you brought 10 men in here, 60% of them are gonna be homosexual. The other 40% are gonna be the other 4 men. So one of them ain't doing shit with his life. The other one trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
That third one tied up in love and relationships. He caught up in that. And then you got that one guy, he's what I call a Sigma man. And that's what makes him that 1%. When he walks into the room, he don't have to be loud like an alpha. Shout out to the alphas, no disrespect, but alphas are, that's the wolf of the pack. But you got that one Sigma, and I refer to myself as a Sigma. It's that one lone wolf that come through the whole motherfucking forest. That motherfucker walk from the east to the west bank of that bitch, right? And he gonna pass 5 packs. And he gonna know every alpha in the pack. But he ain't tripping. He ain't gonna stay for long. He just passing through. And all the female wolves are gonna be like, who is this?
Right.
But
who's the new wolf?
It ain't even the new wolf. He just passing through.
Yeah.
He gonna acknowledge the alpha, like, what's up, bro? You know what I'm saying? You good. It's like when you go to a club. You come in, if you got that type of aura about yourself, when you walk into the room, your presence is felt. You don't have to say, hello, I'm here. They feel you.
Yeah.
But when you don't have that tenacity and that aura and that energy, you have to cast yourself and cast your frequency. A vibrational frequency should be felt. It's a resonance. If I hit that motherfucking wall, you'll feel that wave. But if I hit that wall and there's no density to me, you ain't gonna hear shit. It's gonna be a motherfucker hitting the wall, right?
Yeah.
And so, a Sigma male walk into a pack and be like, bro, I'm not here to take nothing from you. I ain't here to step on your toes. But I would eat your motherfucking ass alive and spit you out in front of all these motherfuckers to keep it moving.
So for younger dudes, right? How do they gain that aura or that be able to have that frequency when they walk into a room?
Oh, bro, you born with it. This God's chosen.
Okay.
You can't go buy this shit.
Okay.
You could go buy the best clothes. You could have the best car. You could have the best fragrance and all the money. If you wasn't born with it, bro, you don't got it. Period. God has chosen certain people to walk this land, and you have it. And then how you develop yourself within it is a responsibility. So you can have it and you can distort it, or you can have it and you can amplify it. But most of the time, you'll find yourself, if you manage it properly, because the thing that not managed properly will be lost. But if you manage it properly, you'll find yourself having to dumb yourself down. So you don't want to amplify it because it's already too much.
Yeah.
So you find yourself dumbing yourself down, bro, and you become isolated. And that's another part of the solidarity, though. As a Sigma male, you like your solidarity, you like your alone time. That's why it's called a lone wolf.
Yeah.
Now, you can share that space with your queen, but she has to be able to compartmentalize the space. We can live together, we can function together, but baby, I gotta go in the movie room, or I just need to be in the backyard. It's like, I want my space, you want your space. You gotta have in that sense, like, for a man like that, he needs a woman to understand, like, I love you. You can love on me, but there's times that I just need to just be alone because I've spent so much time alone, and God has given me a life of hurt and disappointment. So I had to heal myself in alone time.
Do women understand that though? Because
most of them don't. Nah.
Because the realest thing I heard Eddie Griffin say, he was like, when you are that dude, right? When you are that nigga, like you just, whatever you like, women want to be up under you. Women want to gravitate towards you. And if you kind of like shunning them or pushing them off, it's like, it feels like an oxymoron to them. You know what I mean?
Because women are natural nurturers. They're naturally emotional people. And they want to love. And they want to give love and to be there for you in whatever capacity, right? That they can serve. It's funny because when I was a young boy, my mama used to want to hug me and kiss me. I'd be like, get off me, right?
Yeah.
And it wasn't that I didn't want her love. It was just that, first of all, in the environment that I was raised in, you know, it was tough love. And so we really didn't love like that. And so it was almost like a softness, like, nah, you know. And then, you know, just like, boy, like, you don't want your mama kissing all of you, right? But I actually realized, bro, in my adult life at 45 years old, I don't even like that shit from a woman.
Really?
I like to be engaged in that in the sex space. But out of that, it's like just be present. We good. You know what I mean? I don't need all the extra shit. And I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna give you a real experience, bro.
Yeah.
Not that long ago, bro, I had a very beautiful woman that just wanted to love on me. And any nigga in this motherfucking world I know, if he had this woman, he'd be like, come on.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that I didn't want her to love on me. It was just that I wasn't able to receive it. Now, I'm going to tell you what that means, right? I had a bad day that day, and she just happened to be around me. And my attitude and my disposition was a little off. And she was like, babe, what's wrong? I was telling her about what was going through, and she just wanted to hug me and tell me it was going to be okay. And I was like, nah, I'm good. And I pushed her off of me. Not pushed her. I was like, nah, baby, it's good. Like, I don't want all that extra shit. Like, just be here.
Yeah.
I want you here, but I don't need all that.
Yeah.
And I actually hurt her feelings by it, and it hurt me. It didn't hurt me, but it made me step back.
It affected you, yeah.
It just made me step back and think like, damn, why you gotta be so fucked up, you know? And when I thought about it, bro, I'm gonna tell you a real life example of what that really is. I remember, bro, before I became a gangster and got really with the shit, I used to be just a nice kid, and I never wanted to fight. I wasn't raised to be you know, some niggas in the hood, bro, is raised to be fucked up. And I wasn't him. And it was a couple of little boys I remember, like DeAndre and Adrian, little niggas I had to go beat their ass. But when they beat my ass the first time, I went home crying. But when I went home crying, my mama was like, what the fuck you crying for? Like, you know, you get your ass whooped, nigga take your bike. I remember this nigga Melvin shot me in the back in the alley with a BB gun. You know, just different shit in the hood growing up, right?
Yeah.
And I would go in the house crying like, I don't know what the fuck wrong with you, right? Because you come in the house crying, you want to know what's wrong with you. But then when I tell my mama what was wrong, and I got my ass beat up, or a nigga took my bike or took my 25 cents or whatever, she was like, nah, nigga, get your ass out there and go get your motherfucking shit back. And there was a little bit of fear because these was the little titans of the hood at the time, right? Not knowing that inside of me, you remember like in The Lion King, it was always a lion in that little baby lion.
Yes.
But that baby lion don't know it. And it don't want to be that aggravated and ferocious motherfucker. I wasn't trying to be a ferocious motherfucker because I wasn't raised in that environment. I was raised in a loving, comforting environment, but I was in the mix of the shit though, you know what I mean? So there was days, bro, I had to go outside and get down. And I'll pick up a motherfucking stick and beat a nigga down. But still to this day, I still got a lot of love in my heart, but I would kill a motherfucker though. And so like, I stay away from shit. I try to stay, because I like, motherfuckers to test a nigga like me, because you know, you bringing this love energy with nigga, I'm a psychopath, boy. Like, I'll hang your motherfucking ass from a tree downtown, nigga, and let the rollers come get you. And you know what I mean? Like, hey, I did him like that, because nigga, you did me like that, right?
Yeah.
So when I found that beast in myself, bro, it kind of woke me up. But at the same time, it was like, if my mama didn't make me go back out and face the world, bro, I would have been a weak-ass pushover nigga. And pushover niggas used to go home, bro, and their mama would be like, oh, baby, Let me love on you. Let me make you some. You want some cereal? And so niggas is finding that shit in they women now. So when the world fuck him up and he have a bad day, he go home to this woman and she be like, oh, baby, you know. And the nigga find comfort there because his mama did. Nah, I need a motherfucking woman to be like, nigga, okay, what you gonna do?
Yeah.
I don't need nobody to embrace me because it's like, let me figure out what the fuck I'm gonna do. I had a bad day. Yeah, it's cool. I'm glad you're here. Like, my mama was always gonna be there. It's good, we here. But nigga, go in that room and figure it out. Or go back outside and fight the world. I don't need you to rub my back and rub my head and kiss me and tell me it's gonna be okay, because it ain't gonna be okay. I still gotta go to school tomorrow.
Right.
I still gotta go to work tomorrow. And you gonna run right back into that problem. All that pampering and shit, nah, that shit fuck motherfuckers up. That's why you got weak ass niggas that go home and wanna be pampered and shit. I don't need no woman to pamper me. I could cook for myself, clean for myself. I can even fuck myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah. See, I am like, I feel what you're saying because I know I'm the kind of like the same way. Like, I just need to be like, okay, fuck it. Let me figure out what I need to do and let me go attack, you know what I'm saying, whatever it is. But at the same time, I do like a soft, nurturing woman. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is. It's
I'm
amazing.
at one point I want her to be like soft and be like, damn, that is messed up, whatever happened.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what's the solution? What
Exactly.
we gonna do?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
What the fuck we gonna do?
Yeah.
But okay, and every man not like that. So I'm not passing judgment on that person for wanting that. That's how you was taught. All that I'm saying is my mama taught me a different way. And so what we look at is in a life cycle, right? Going back to that 20-year cycle, right? How we were raised and the environment we're raised in, we either change it when we become aware of the cycle patterns or we continue to be in it. A lot of people stay in the same place. They don't move. They don't change their habits. They don't identify the changes that are needed for the habits or the space, right? Listen, no pun intended, but there's people that I know that still not sleeping on the same couch, but still got the same couch in their house and still living in the same place. Ain't never left their mama house. Mama, daddy passed away, but they still living in the same place. It's like there's no expansion. And for me, I see that as an illness.
Mm-hmm.
Because God wanted you to be the lender, not the borrower. He wanted the expansion and give you territories. No man could be a prophet in his own land. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it's good to have a nurturing woman, a soft woman. I love a soft motherfucking woman. I love a nurturing woman. I get it. I understand it. But I don't need the pacifying.
Yeah.
It's cool, baby. Just be right here. I like a person here. Be here. Let me know you here. But I don't need all that extra shit.
Need all the extras.
Nah, I just don't need the extras. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when we get in that bedroom, though, yeah, come on.
Yeah, do the extras.
But outside of that, it's like it's a time and place for me.
Yeah.
Personally. May not apply to everybody. But in the bedroom, well, yeah, I ain't pushing her off.
Yeah.
Pushing her in.
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't need the extras. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that. I mean, I definitely 100% feel that. I wish we had a woman here because I think I don't think women know how to adjust. Like, I don't think they know how to be two different things for men, where being a nurturer and also being like hey, what we doing now? You know what I'm saying? I think that's very difficult for women.
I'll add a shadow to that. It's not. The same woman I was telling you about?
Yeah.
She's an avid spiritual woman. Very attractive. Almost like a goddess.
Mm-hmm.
And that's on God, right?
Yeah.
I acknowledge her. But what she did was she spent a lot of time alone as well. But in that time, she studied. She learned her algorithms, you know what I'm saying? And as a woman needs to step back and understand who the man is that she's trying to vibrate with to get in that same frequency. And when she did that, I did it too. So what happens is like we acknowledge what we need and what we didn't, but because we're avid students and we're constantly learning and trying to understand, right? Versus just trying to just like be who we think that we are. So like you got women that just want to like, nah, you know, versus a woman who gonna step back and say, okay, let me understand. Let me look at this as a learning experience versus me getting in my feelings and being like, oh, this nigga don't like me. She stepped back and she took a learning experience, but I stepped back too. So it takes two though, right? And so I understood what she needed to be able to have, to be able to be herself and love, but she understood how I needed to be loved, so therefore we won't have that type of conflict, right? So, yeah, to your point, some women need to step back sometime and just like a man, you need to know who you're dealing with. And you know, I'm going to be honest with you, bro. Most people don't know who the fuck they dealing with because they don't know themselves. You can't even know, you can't even deal with a person in the fullest totality of that capacity of them if you don't know you.
Hell yeah.
Because you don't even know who you are. And that goes back to solidarity. Enough people don't spend time alone to know themselves. They just keep filling that empty space with something else. And that's where I say the pacification comes, or the reassurance, right? A certain person like that hasn't spent enough time with themselves to be able to reassure themselves and have the type of faith that's required to get up every day alone and go out and face the world.
Yeah.
They need somebody to wake up next to them, or they need somebody to be there with them to give them that reassurance, even when they don't even fucking need it. Because even if you got the motherfucker there to give you the reassurance, you still don't believe. Because if you don't believe in you, I don't give a fuck what a motherfucker tell you. If you a boxer, right, you got your cut man in the corner. And nigga, if you don't believe that you gonna get out in that ring and go, no matter what the fuck the cut man teach you, I don't give a fuck if Mayweather was your coach. Nigga, you still ain't got the heart.
Right.
You gotta have the heart.
Right.
Motherfucker, hey, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you can have Mayweather in your corner.
Oh, nigga, that motherfucker could be in the ring dancing with you, nigga. Like, come on. And if you don't got it, you ain't got it.
Yeah.
So no matter who the woman is, no matter how much she reassure you, if you don't got it, bro, you don't got it.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that's nowadays missing is, and I don't even know who is it to blame or who could even claim that blame. Is it mothers doing that to their sons, or is that the man once they get old enough where they can even just be like, you know what, I'm gonna just stand on my own and I'm gonna handle shit the way I need to handle it. I don't even know who it is to even blame, because listen, I know with me, my mom didn't my mom was hard on this because she had to. She was a single mom. You know what I mean? I was the only boy in the house. So she made me be rougher just because I think she told me she didn't want me to be gay because I was all around all girls.
It's just around a bunch of girls.
Yeah, she didn't want me to be soft around all girls. So she made and pushed me. And I think just my environment being in the streets, it kind of I had to go fight. I had to go face, you know what I mean? If I wanted to go back
face
outside,
the world.
Yeah.
Because you can't go back out the yard if you
Exactly. And so, and I think, here's what I think LA produces people that just have that, man.
LA produce, hey, listen, this is bad motherfuckers.
I think the truest line that Tupac ever said, every nigga in LA got a little bit of thug in them.
Yeah.
Because the environment makes you have to be that savage at times when you may not even be looking for it, or you may experience where you feel like, damn, this nigga just punked me, and now I gotta do something. I gotta get some get back, or I gotta do something for some kind of revenge or something.
Yeah.
And I think because if you really in the city of LA, it's really a small radius. It's like you really have maybe 4 blocks, you know what I'm saying, that you gotta go deal with every single day. And somebody is tripping on
somebody.
Yeah.
Somebody tripping on somebody.
Yeah.
And I was about to comment on something that you said. I kind of lost my thought. But growing up in LA, bro, when I moved to Texas 20 years ago, and speaking of the 20-year pattern, right? I've been in Texas now 20 years. I came here in 2005. I moved to Houston right 2 days after Katrina hit. I was already moving. I had already bought a crib 30 days plus before, and I was already en route to come here. And when I got to Houston, bro, motherfuckers from Katrina was pulling in. So speaking of the 20-year pattern, I've been in Texas for 20 years. And so and I'm 45, so I spent half of my life in California, in LA, Bakersfield, shit like that. But I spent the latter years of my current life here in Texas. And one thing I'll tell you that I like about Texas is that when we go out and we be social, we go to a club or whatever, whether you're in Houston, Dallas, wherever you go, and you in the midst of, it could be 50 black men in the building. I love the fact that it's not predicated off of negative gang energy and negative black man energy. Like we could go out right now today, bro. If a black man step on your shoes, but my brother, my bad, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or it's like people gonna pay into you, like, what's up, bro? You want a drink? I got you, bro. Here, what you want? Right? Because out here we're more fluid. People are more successful. People are living life. And growing up in California and still going back to California to this day, California is the energy of the streets, bro. Like, you know how old California is, right? LA. You know the gum that's on the sidewalk? You know that black ass gum that's on the sidewalk?
Yeah.
That shit is so old, my nigga. Like on the corners that we used to grow up on, corner stores and shit like that. That gum is so old, bro. But that gum is still carrying the DNA of a spirit. And that same curb got blood on it. Because remember, we used to hang on the corners all the time back in the 70s, right? I say I grew up walking to the corner store. But you remember everybody used to congregate at the corner.
Yeah.
The pool halls, the burger stand from the 70s before they start gangbanging, before Crippin' was Crippin' and Bloodin' was Bloodin', right? Bro, them corners, 89th and Manchester, 60th and motherfucking Crenshaw, like all them corners, bro, motherfuckers got their noodle knocked off. And that's energy, homie, and that energy ain't been purged.
Right.
And so when we out there, bro, that old-ass energy is still resonating. It's a frequency. And that's the reason why if we go out to the club right now, hey, listen, when I get off the plane and hit LAX, bro, I'm going to go get me a pastrami. When I get to the pastrami stand, I'm already on G.
Yeah.
Like, nigga, where you from?
You got to.
Yeah.
You got to.
And I hate that. After being here for so long, I hate that I can't go to anywhere without having to look at a black man like, where this nigga from?
Yeah.
That's the energy that we come up in. So when you say growing up in LA, bro, every black man is your enemy. He's not your brother. Because if you don't know the nigga, he from another block. And from every block to block, nigga, is a different set.
Yes.
So everybody in California, LA especially, we all have been cultured to be enemies.
Do you feel bad for people in LA?
I feel horrible for them because you can't break that cycle until you get out of that cycle. And if you don't leave California, LA, or wherever part of California, I don't give a fuck if it's Oakland, LA, whatever. If you don't leave long enough to transition your mindset, and I ain't talking about elevating your mindset, I'm just saying have a cultural shift, be out long enough to have a cultural shift, you just gonna go right back, bro. I you know what I'm saying? But it goes back to what you want.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with people that's been there, but I call it the Flintstones. I call it the Flintstones effect. You remember how Fred Flintstone used to beat his feet, but the car wasn't going nowhere?
Yeah.
Motherfuckers make money in Cali, bro, but they just be beating their feet. They don't never get no progress. That's why niggas still living in the same conditions. Motherfuckers ain't even got central air, but they want to be in California.
Lord.
Hollywood ain't the same. Even Hollywood left California, goddamn it. So, nigga, like, why
Hollywood's
the fuck?
in Atlanta now.
No, Hollywood is in motherfucking Texas now, nigga. Universal Studios is here. All the film companies is here.
Yeah.
You know, but what I'm saying is, it ain't the same, bro. In that culture. It's just like, check this out, right? Like, the great Nip. Right now, Big U, Wack 100, Bricc baby, old weird ass nigga, Luce Cannon, old weird ass nigga. You know, niggas on podcasts talking about shit that they did, and like, really, that's weird. But that's why you niggas is in jail for the goofy shit, because you know you want to go get views and make money. But I'm gonna tell you something, bro. I peeped that shit, right? So the nigga Adam 22, right?
Yep.
That nigga is a motherfucking agent.
Like for like a secret agent.
Yeah, he's an agent. His family, his whole organization, and he's a weirdo, and he's a homosexual, and And motherfuckers know he's gay, right? He make gay porn.
Yeah.
So Wack and all you niggas is over there fucking with Adam. And you gotta ask yourself, why would niggas want to go to, like, all these niggas should go to a nigga podcast. If anything, you niggas want to go fuck with the weird ass white boy and tell this nigga all of your trade secrets. But let me tell you what the hype is though, bro. What niggas don't realize is that Adam was giving niggas checks.
Mm-hmm.
And but behind the scene of that, right? And I don't, this is not something that somebody told me, it's something I think that I believe, right? I think that the feds and the powers that be, once these niggas got on the platform, right? This is like your platform, right?
Mm-hmm.
They started to push like fictitious views and monetary value gains to these niggas' platform. And it's just like rats, right? If you put some food out, right, the rat's gonna go tell the other rats. The roaches gonna tell the other roaches. So they let a couple of niggas get a little bit of money. Why you think every nigga in LA right now want to tell about gang stories and jail stories? Everybody want to come on a podcast. Like, I saw you had Rooster on here.
Mm-hmm.
I respect Rooster pimping. I a little fly nigga.
Yeah.
I feel like Rooster still pimping.
Yeah.
He might not be. I don't know Rooster. Personally, never met the nigga, but I know who he is, though.
Mm-hmm.
So the nigga pimping is immaculate because I know who he is, right?
Yeah.
But I don't understand even why Rooster would go on and talk about the game and represent the game on a podcast when, nigga, you know you going to be on motherfucking Mockingbird over there with the bitch.
Or Harry Hines.
Whatever, Harry Hines or whatever with the bitch, right?
Yeah.
And, nigga, it's like you making the rollers, like, you making their job easy. So niggas want to get views, and it's not hard for what they call big pharma to pay you $10,000 this month. Like, damn, nigga, I got 100,000 views. I make 10 G's. So you go tell the homies, like, nigga, get you a podcast. Nigga, get you a podcast. So you got, like, hella niggas now want to come out of jail and tell jail stories and do all this weird shit because somebody went back and told them that they could get money. So anytime you tell a black motherfucker where the money is, everybody want to do it.
Yeah.
But what the fuck you gonna tell? You gotta tell a real story. And when you tell a real story, nigga, you putting cold cases together. So everything that these niggas is getting jammed up on is closed files, just turned into cold cases that these niggas is reopening. And with AI and technology and DNA and all this other shit, niggas is getting cracked. So, you know, like what you call it, that nigga Devil from 60s, right? That nigga killed some niggas back in 87, bro, and got a cold case, you know what I'm saying, reopened, I think 2017, 2018. And so moving forward, all these old cold cases, all these old stories, most niggas that's doing life, you know, a lot of lifers is getting out, right?
Really?
Yeah. A lot of like, my little brother was doing 20 with an L, nigga had triple. And he got out. They, you know, they got a new law that they passed to let lifers out. He wasn't the shooter and shit like that, right? So niggas is getting out, but how they gonna monetize themselves? So they start telling stories.
That, I mean, listen, I've been sitting back watching this web like, nigga, is anything sacred anymore?
It's not.
Because I remember when there was a time where I was like, oh, we never gonna figure that out.
It's called a G code.
Man.
And these niggas done lost that code. But I'm gonna tell you why they lost it, because, bro, financially, bro, this world is in distress, so niggas gotta figure out what they gonna do. You can't sell no dope no more. Pimping is hard. Who the fuck you gonna jack? So really, the majority. That's why I go back to that percentage. Remember I talked about the 1%ers.
Mm-hmm.
60% of them motherfuckers ain't got no access to no capital. Don't know how to generate no capital. Ain't never learned how. Don't have the acumen or the experience. So if I could get on this camera and I got motherfuckers on YouTube talking about if I get 100,000 subscribers, I can make 10,000 a month. So you're gonna get a flock of people to go to do that. And then what you gonna tell? You know, the subconscious mind is only gonna regurgitate what it knows.
Listen, I don't know. Listen, this podcast game is so tricky. Like, and I am victim to it too, because I remember I started getting like real gangsters on here telling their stories, you know what I mean? But I never wanted nobody to incriminate themselves.
Exactly, bro. Like, I'm writing a movie right now on my uncle, Virgil, the Grandmaster. one of the coldest pimps of all time. Been pimping since the late 50s. Still alive, 81 years old. I just got the first draft of the script back. We've been writing this and doing research and development for the last 3 years. So like the Mac and Superfly, I'm gonna do a modern day movie. You know, nice budget, nice film, great character lead roles and shit like that. But when we did that research and development, it was a lot of people who could have incriminated themselves. But there's a way to do it.
Yes.
And it's been done for years.
Yeah.
So all this is just goofy.
Yeah.
These is really the weirdos anyway telling stories. Because, I mean, when you think about it, Wack, I know Wack. And I don't know him like that. And what I mean, like, I know Wack, and not completely personally, but I know him. Like, I got the nigga number on my phone. I could call Wack and be like, what's up, nigga? You know what I'm saying? But why Wack want to go get paperwork and do this and do that and be talking like, that's goofy, bro. That's bitch shit. That's what hoes do. Hoes gossip. And for them niggas to be on there gossiping and doing all that shit, this shit is just weird to me.
Him and 600. What
600 is the most goofiest nigga, bro.
Him and 600, I'd be like
why?
Fans ain't even got to do their job.
But I'm gonna tell you though, bro. What it boils down to is no matter how goofy these niggas is, bro, it boils down to the money. Them niggas was running a bag up. They was making 6 figures, bro. You making $100,000 off of bullshit content. What we was just talking about. So it influences other people to be like, oh, I can come do goofy shit too. And Wack got to keep that check coming in, so you're gonna keep coming up with more goofy shit. So really, it became a business, but it was the business of the feds. And they built the whole case on them niggas for 4 years, and plus, they still building cases on more motherfuckers.
That shit, I mean, this podcast, YouTube, streets, like
it's the new dope game.
It's crazy.
It's the new dope game.
It's
How you gonna
crazy.
package your work?
It's
the new dope game. And look, and going back to what I was saying about the 20-year paradox. 20 years prior to the podcast, it was another game. But everything evolves, but it just recycles itself. So is podcast a new dope game? Is podcast a new form of hoeing? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's a form of hoeing because, you know, if you get the right bitch to come in here and suck the right, you know what I mean, nigga up, you're going to make some bread.
Right.
It's just time collapsing on itself and create new frequencies and bandwidths, you know?
Yeah. God dang.
But fuck them weirdos, though. Let's get back to the business, though.
Yeah. Man, I want to, you open up a new restaurant, man. Talk about the new restaurant.
So I didn't open up a new restaurant. It's not my restaurant. It's owned by a few guys from Houston. Rob Wright, Steve Rogers, a couple other guys. And it's called Winsome Prime now. Formerly the Work of Houston.
Okay.
And so my capacity was I came in as the developer. So there was a place here in Dallas called the Network Bar, where Dallas socialites and elites would go into a private membership club, and they would go in and have meetings, have drinks, eat, and socialize and do business and so forth. Well, we converted that space into now the new fine dining experience called Winsome Prime.
Winston Prime?
Winsome, W-I-N-S-O-M-E. Yeah.
Okay.
Winsome Prime. So I came in as the contractor. I redeveloped the space, put all the art in there, and we just had friends and family yesterday. My daughter couldn't wait to go get that Hawaiian ribeye.
Yeah.
And we was chilling yesterday, and so yeah, the space is dope, great environment. It's the what I call the Black experience for fine dining. I haven't been to a fine dining. When I say fine dining, what I mean is like, you know, Del Frisco, Double Eagle, or Roof Crisp or something like that, you know, of Black steakhouse with a fusion. And so I was glad that I was able to curate the environment space, and Rob and his team came in and brought the business. And one thing that I learned, like building that space, that I was there every day while they were actually transitioning the hires and the general managers and so forth, bro. I saw what it takes to really run a restaurant. And it just made me realize how many Black people open restaurants and just throw their cousins and people in there and just throw a manager in there. And that's the reason why people complain and shit shut down. Hey, listen, when I tell you this was a 5-star hiring process of elite waiters, servers, general managers, and the process to like just get the kitchen up and going. Even a startup even a startup. Like they did about 4 or 5 friends and family, media, like just different nights of gearing up the staff in the kitchen before the motherfucking train leave.
Yeah.
And for me to see that as a businessman, it made me understand if you're gonna open a restaurant and if you're gonna run a business, how it should be, started.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. How do they get in contact with you? Like,
well, actually, going back to the 20-year cycle, I first met Steve Rogers at a place called Milkshake M Bar in Houston when I first moved there, and we became really cool, and we just been on each other 20 years. And I know Rob, I know Steve and Lisa, like, because I lived in Houston for a while. And so that relationship just developed. And then over all these years, bro, Steve and them, they've been wanting to come here. Rob, them been wanting to come to Dallas for a long time. And Rob finally made the move. Because it was about 3 or 4 years ago, looking for buildings and trying to get it going, and they opened up the one in Houston. And it just all came together in its own time. Yeah, I was even talking to Steve a few months ago. I was like, bro, it's been a solid 20 years. And I was like, look at how everything came full circle. So to make my point, I came from California, just a nigga from LA, and I met these dudes. These niggas had the hottest shit in the city in Houston at the time. They still do. Because Steve got 5015, hottest shit in the city. And Rob got Chapman and Kirby, Prospect Park. They're a group, but they had an individual things. But they got the best shit yanking in the city, right? And they've been doing it 20 years strong. And so for them to scale themselves to the Dallas market is great.
That's dope, man. That's dope.
And I'm just grateful that they chose me to come and put it together and be the staple. Like all the artwork in there was done by DK International. And like I say, I work with their designer and added elements, and so forth to get it done. And we got it done, bro. It's a beautiful space.
How does somebody hire you to curate their space? Like if you have other people that's watching this that want to get into the restaurant space or any kind of event space, how do they get in contact with you? How do they hire you to do that?
So you can reach me at on my Instagram.
Okay.
And or you can go to my website. So my IG is international_DK. My website is www.thedkstandard.com. And you can reach me there, and we can just kind of, start it, or just tap in with me. I ain't hard to find. What Pac say? I ain't hard to find.
Yeah.
I'll be outside moving around.
Because you're a developer by trade, right? Or
yeah. I'm a land developer.
Okay.
I'm an architect by trade.
Architect. Okay.
Engineer by trade, civil and structural, and artist by trade, hustler by trade.
Man, like I be seeing you, like every time I go to Houston, I feel like I run into you. You know what I'm saying?
We do, right? That should be funny.
Every time I go to Houston, I feel like I run into you. What do you like more, and for what reasons do you like what city more, Houston or Dallas?
Well, I'm gonna put it to you this way: as I've evolved in and out of the cities. I'm not even attracted to Dallas anymore. I've already reached my pinnacle of Dallas already. So 20 years ago, bro, basically like probably 23 years ago, I was selling real estate. I was just a real estate agent, And I decided to be a developer and be a builder because I wanted to build $1 million homes because I wanted to live in one. So I was always attracted to these big-ass monsters, right? And so as a realtor, when I would be selling houses or whatever, I would go into some of these nice gated communities. I was like, damn, And so I never saw a black person build. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna be the builder. And my whole concept was back then, in the 2000s, remember Jacob the jeweler used to come with the big watches?
Yeah.
And when you were looking at Source magazine, he had the full page. And everybody wanted his watch. And I wanted everybody to want my house. I never saw a developer or architect in none of the hip-hop magazines, but I knew these niggas lived in them big-ass cribs. Because I used to watch Cribs, right? And because I was in the real estate space, it was a way for me to become a multimillionaire. That's how I saw my path. And that's the vision God gave me. So I was like, I'm going to be the Jacob jeweler of houses. And I'm going to build for the celebrities and, the high earners and shit. And so to this day, bro, I built over, I'll say probably over about $60 million worth of real estate. Built. Now that don't mean I made $60 million, but I built over $60 million worth of high-end real estate. And to come from where I come from and grow up where I grew up, to be able to do that, I changed my life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I've built for and sold for to some people that you would know. And I built $1 million houses. I live in $1 million house. I never would have thought that. But like I say, I reassured myself and I did it. And so now at this point, bro, I've reached the pinnacle of that. Like, I've done it already. You know, some people want to live in one and want people want to do it. I did it. So now I'm seeking something else. I'm seeking a higher transition. So it's one thing to generate or to grow $60 million or $100 million or whatever, but it's another thing to make it. And for the last 20 years, I'll say, I've been linear with my building and my hustling, you know what I mean? And I've been generating, taking care of my family, but now it's time to be different in that process. Now I'm living my life not for my dreams and for my children's dreams now. So now my thing is about expansion. So when I say I've outgrown this city already, I see the potential of it. I know where the money is. I know who I'm going to do business with, who I'm not going to do business. I know what it takes to build $1 million house and what $1 million client looks like. So I know that I need to expand my territory because what I want, my $100 million ain't here. I don't play for the Mavericks. So I know where to go get it.
Yeah.
So leaving a legacy, breaking that generational cycle, and now in my 20-year anniversary, now I got another 20 years to go. So by 65, bro, I expect to manifest what I'm talking about right now. And so to your point about the cities, right? Houston is to me the modern day New Orleans. Everybody traveled to New Orleans to go do all the partying, but after COVID, Houston became that. And so Houston has a lot of distractions because it's so much fun and so many motherfuckers, and you know, nigga, you go to Houston and you could knock 20 of them in the same night. Nigga, the next day you gonna knock another 10. That's 30 motherfuckers that you ain't even gonna call. Oh God. Yeah. And it's just like, it's a big distraction when a man needs to be in his discipline and his focus and build something. And so I saw that as a weakness for me because I love to have a good time. So I had to manage my affairs there a certain way as I grew and evolved into the person that I am now. Dallas to me represented stability, family, discipline, you know, and major growth. And so I love Dallas for that. But Dallas has its limitations. And so now, like, coming from California and expanding myself to these territories, now I'm about to go take over another land. So Austin is next up. Because what Austin and then another thing, I'm acquiring properties in all these different cities to have a trifecta, and I'll tell you about that. But what Austin represents is the new version of me, being able to build multi-million-dollar houses for people who can actually afford it, who have already arrived. It's one thing to build a house for a nigga, man, who ain't never been in $1 million house, but just because, nigga, you got $10 million or you got some money coming or you just signed a contract, don't even mean you know how to manage it. The most important thing I learned, bro, it's hard for a black man to write another black man a $500,000 check one time when you got to do it 10 more.
Why?
Because, nigga, if you going to pay me $5 million to build your house, my first draw is about 10%. So write me a check for $500,000. It's hard for a black man to give another black man $500,000 and trust that he gonna do what he's supposed to do with it. Cause you ain't never did that before. But it's easy to give it to a white man, cause you believe this nigga. Black people don't believe in each other, bro.
That's crazy.
And I've dealt with it. And then black people, and I ain't talking about black people, but this is the real shit that happened. I'm just telling you the truth.
Yeah.
Black people always trying to get a deal. Bro, even at a high level, even at a $5 million, like, you know, you may be selling your bags or something. You know, you may be a designer. You got shoes or T-shirts. Nigga, you got them for $20. Nigga want to give you $15. But ain't no different at the $5 million bracket. A nigga want it for 3.5. No, bitch, give me my other 1.5. Yeah. So by the time you get to, and so niggas always think that they can figure some shit out once it's simple. So motherfucker don't understand how to engineer some land and put them piers and build a 16,000 square foot, you know, set of form for a big ass house and pour the slab and what goes up under that motherfucker, right? By the time that nigga see that sheetrock come up in that motherfucker and we painting and shit, oh, that nigga got a cousin who could paint. All of a sudden. And so now they trying to figure out how to wiggle the fuck out of it because, listen, they still looking at that big $2 million back end.
Yeah.
And that jumbo loan, that bridge loan hard to get. So niggas trying to wiggle up. I done been there, done that, bro. And so it's like, and another thing too, I never wanted to be a black business or a black man of excellence with a white man standing next to me. You know how you had the poster boy white nigga? I never wanted that. But I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I understand it now.
Yes. Yeah.
Because the psychology of black people, they don't give a fuck about black excellence. And I say that respectfully. No matter how black excellent you are, man, a nigga is a nigga. We all niggas. I'm a nigga too. And we all see shit the way we see it. We love black excellence, but do we really, really understand it? So I'll put it to you like this, bro. Me and you could go drop right now. We could go say, okay, we about to do $1 billion project, right? And it's just me and you on the front of a fucking newspaper. Niggas gonna look at it like, okay, that's cool, that's dope. They gonna talk about it for 2 or 3 days, right? And they may not even believe, like, these niggas full of shit. But if we throw a little white motherfucker, we go get a bum.
Yeah.
A nigga and clean that motherfucker, put him in the suit, throw that white boy in the picture, bro. Niggas gonna be like, oh, he gave him the money. Them niggas is on.
Yeah. That like fucking like.
But listen, you know
I hate that, man.
Yeah, they always used to tell me play the game. I'm too real to play the game. But I'm gonna be honest with you. It's okay to play the game. Because, like, if you really want to get where you got to get, bro, play the game. Like, you can be, that's why I say conscious motherfuckers and those 5%ers, them niggas don't play the game. They be, like, hardcore.
Yes.
But really, bro, the game is, the Europeans really motherfucking developed this land. And they have engraved our psychology and our subconscious with the bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Would that be considered like selling out though?
Fuck that.
Would you be feeling like
it's no, cause you understand what the fuck you doing. Selling out is not knowing no better, and you just sucking a nigga dick to get what you need.
Yeah.
No, I ain't sucking a nigga dick to get what I need. I am the boss, nigga. I know what I'm doing. Hey, white boy, come here.
Yeah.
Get in this picture.
Yeah. Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, you're not selling out once you understand the logic and the philosophy behind it. Because he don't represent nothing. He's just there. The same way white people put black motherfuckers in a picture. How you think Trump got into the administration? And they went and fuck with the Mexicans, and then he deported their ass, right? And then he'd go fuck with the little black ladies and shit, and then you get the votes because it's like, oh, he like us. Or, oh, the white man, you know what I'm saying? So, as a powerful black man, you put a white man, the motherfucker don't have to, he could be broke, bro. You don't even have to, just put a white motherfucker right there and get you a blonde white girl to just take notes. She could just doodle. Just sit right there, be quiet, doodle.
Yeah.
Go take your meetings with your clients and make the blonde hair, blue-eyed white girl just right. Bitch, you could just drop pictures.
Yeah. Have you ever seen, the movie, I forget what the movie was about how they started like a bank.
Yeah. Same concept. But it's hard when you're building yourself, right? And you haven't been through the experiences. So when you want not to be like that, you like, nah, I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that, right? Until you actually do it, succeed, and fail. Then you just understand why somebody did do it. And it takes you to go through it to understand it. So until you truly understand it, you won't know why you're doing it. And that's what I feel is a sellout. When you don't know why you selling out, you a sellout. Yeah. But when you know why you doing it, you buying it. Yeah. So I'm buying my higher success.
Yeah. I feel that.
I'm not selling shit, I'm buying now.
Yeah, I'm selling it to y'all. Yeah,
I met a nigga back in the day named Juan G, a Haitian dude in Beverly Hills. They used to go back to back in Rolls Royces and shit. We used to do business. And he used to keep blonde hair white girl with him all the time. And he had 2 white boys with him all the time. But Juan G did all the talking. Matter of fact, if you don't know who Juan G is, Juan G nigga had Paris Hilton in the video for one of his rap songs. Only black nigga who ever fucking had Paris Hilton, yeah.
Really?
That nigga was in Beverly Hills jugging.
Yeah.
We had a meeting one day at the Elephant Bar at the Beverly Center. and he had this white girl right there. And this was back in 2001 when I first started selling real estate. Sold the nigga a house in Beverly Hills. And actually that's when Gorilla Black was getting on, and I was putting him and GB together, right? And he had this white girl, and I never forgot that. I just utilized it when I needed it to. But now I understand, bro. Do you know if I walk around with a white girl and two white boys, no matter where I go, I'm gonna look like that guy?
Yeah.
And these motherfuckers could be nobodies. But because they white and they gonna be dressed accordingly, you're gonna be like, oh, he must be important.
Yeah.
Versus just walking by yourself and still being important.
Yeah. God damn, man. It's that perception of...
Perception.
Yeah.
That's why pimping fuck with snow. Because if you have black, you got the baddest black bitches, but you still a nigga with some bitches with some hoes.
Yeah.
Like that, what's that one dude who be on the podcast with all the white girls? We walking in his videos and shit. The nigga, he goofy as fuck to me too, but I don't know, some dude I can't remember. He be kicking some real game, but he do the goofiest shit though. But he keeps some white girls with him.
Is he kind of tall? Like
short dude.
Short dude. I thought you were talking about the organic dude, Mr. Organic.
I can't remember this dude's name, but anyway.
Yeah.
You know, it's just it's a real thing, bro. The aesthetic of it changes the game.
I can feel that. I definitely feel that.
Bring a white person on your podcast.
Listen.
Your views gonna change. You gonna get way more views.
God. That's on us.
And I just want to say this: I'm not racist by no means, but it is what it is. I'm just a realist, bro.
Yeah.
I shoot it for what it is. I've studied this shit and looked at it for what it is. You know.
I don't think people from LA could be racist because you deal with.
We grew up, yeah.
You deal with many ethnicities.
I tell you know the fucking craziest thing I saw when I came to Texas.
What?
When I went to that club in Houston, it was black police in that motherfucker. I ain't never seen black police. Growing up in South Central, bro, all we saw was Asian and white police.
Yes.
I never seen black. You know what I'm saying?
That's what tripped me out about Atlanta. Even
the school teachers, bro. Like, it was rare to see black school teachers, too, sometimes.
Yes. I think I went to Russell Elementary on the east side. I went to San Pedro Junior High, and then I went to Crenshaw. I probably only had 3 black teachers for all those schools. Time,
yeah. And I remember all the black instructors that I ran into, but the one thing that stood out the most, I never saw a black LAPD cop in all of my life. And most of the time, we always saw white, Mexican, or Asian cops. So when I went to Houston, saw all them black police officers, I was like, nigga, this is where I need to be. And then all them thick ass, that was the first time I saw eyelashes, nigga, and big wigs. Because, you know, in the city, nigga, listen, a wig was some micros or a flat iron.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, hell nah. It was up.
Yeah.
Bro, it took me one day. I was sold.
Yeah.
I'm going to Texas. I ain't never looked back.
Same here.
And bro, over that time, I used to go back to the crib all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shit, I stopped going less and less and less. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man.
Ain't shit out there now, man.
Ain't shit out there.
Ain't shit out there.
Nah.
God damn. Man, you know, what I want to do is I want to come visit because I don't even say my dream, but something I always wanted to do is go on a construction site and just see like how this shit is really being built. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I always like just fascinated by how niggas could really build a building here and that shit just be there forever. You know what I mean?
No, for real.
For me, that's how I see it. Be like, first this shit was just nothing, and now it's like people are using this space to have work or either come home to a space. You know what I mean? I always like I want to go to a construction site and just really see it like firsthand how shit is getting developed. You know what I mean? Or how shit's getting built.
Let me give you some perspective, bro. One of the coldest things I ever did in my life was went to Egypt. Being in the field, you know, and hearing the stories of how the pyramids was built, I had to see for myself. But not only that, I was just called to the ancient land too for my own resonating, perspectives of learning and downloads of knowledge. of the sacred geometries of how to be a better architect and a better builder and just better in my conscious state, period, right? So I went and besides just seeing those megalithic structures, you know the coldest part about it, being a builder that I thought?
What?
It's not even the fascination of the building. You know what was fascinating? Where the fuck did they have a meeting to decide what they was going to build and where they was going to build it? So before you could go to a construction site has to be identified. It's called feasibility. So in the due diligence phase of identifying the location, the why, and the how, that's the magic. And I was like, where did these niggas camp out with their camels and talk about what the fuck they was gonna build? That's cold.
Yeah, yeah.
And so that was the most fascinating part, was the actual engineering, like how it was gonna be built. In that conversation, I would have loved to be in that room.
How do you think the pyramids were built?
Out of resonance. So it's a megalithic structure. Those fucking stones, bro, like one of those stones is as big as this room, square business.
Really?
Yeah. I've seen stones this size of this room. I've been into tombs this size of the room. Like the distance of that right there to this wall and about halfway up this wall to the top of that TV is the size of a tomb made out of solid granite marble, carved out and moved into a space like this. I went into a tomb, bro, and so when I say tomb, the tomb itself is the cavern, but in the tomb is a tomb, right? The actual, the coffin, but they call it a tomb. But I went into a room that was made into a stone, like mountain, basically. And then the tomb that was inside of it was solid, but it was a different composite. And this composite looked like it came from somewhere out of space. It was black matter. And on top of that, the ceiling had stars in it. And it was like painted black, but it was aged or whatever, to the point that I feel like it was extraterrestrial, but not saying it was aliens who actually built it, but saying that whatever this tomb was made out of came from the galactic space. It was a stone that came from the galactic space. It was transported or it fell here. This tomb was made out of it. And I think the person that was in that tomb was galactic. But that don't necessarily mean that that's who built these pyramids. I think that there was a higher conscious being on this planetary system before. But that don't necessarily mean that they had these highly engineered tools. I think Elon Musk is the real Martian. And I say Martian, not meaning like the motherfucker is an alien, but he has alien DNA. Because our DNA helix goes back tens of thousands of years. Like they just brought a new wolf back. The start with a D, but anyway, they just brought a wolf back. They just in the lab generated a new wolf out of ancient DNA over 13,000 years old. It's an all-white wolf. It's called the something wolf, like the Drexel wolf or something like that. But anyway, I feel like Elon Musk, some kind of way, eschatologically, is a being of Martian capacity. And that's the reason why he has the knowledge to generate all of this new science. And also, too, I feel like Terrence Howard is similar to me. And when I mean similar to me, I don't mean that we're alike in no kind of way necessarily, but I think there's certain people who walk this earth who has a certain level of Akashic knowledge. Akashic knowledge meaning knowledge that we don't read from a book. Is sacred knowledge that comes from God, superconscious, right? And so to think of Terrence Howard being in Hustle and Flow, this guy has just revolutionized the scientific industry completely, all the way back to Newton and Isaac Newton and Einstein and other scientists in their peer field of that society, where they're gonna have to basically go and rewrite all of history, like to the point that, bro, everything that he's talking about has so much validation. He has 94 patents. He has white papers that scientists don't even want to acknowledge. It's almost like you, at your age, having to acknowledge that the man who raised you wasn't your daddy. and this other man is your daddy, and you have to accept that.
Yeah.
They can't accept that Terrence Howard about to daddy these niggas.
Yeah, because I was listening to the interview you were talking about earlier, and I was like, some of this shit is making sense to me.
A lot of it, bro. Like, you know, the concept of 1 × 1 = 1.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to do this because when they was sitting there in that show, I was like, just give them an example, right? So when you think of one, what's 1 × 1?
I mean, they say it's 1, but it's like, how do you multiply 1 times something and it gets you the same number?
And I'm gonna show you.
You know what I'm saying? So
I'm gonna give you an expression. Because what he's talking about is not fundamental mathematics. He's talking about universal energy, source code. And source code, universal energy means the physics of life, composite 3-dimensional space. The Fibonacci theory, right? So 1 times 1 is an equation. That fundamental math says equals 1. Okay?
Yeah.
That would be this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? And I don't know if people over there watching this. So 1 times 1, right? Should equal 1. But you have 2 components. And one man is almost capable of duplicating himself. So you times you ain't you. You times you is however you want to multiply yourself. So do you want to multiply yourself 1 time? Yes, you can. And it takes you have to write 2 1s to get the equation, right? The sequence of the numbers, right? So you get 2. But I was talking with this shit with my daughter. She fucked me up though, bro. She was like, so what's 0 times 0? And it was like, it would have to be 2 because 0 times 0. So outside of that, he has a valid point though. When you talk about physical matter. He's talking about physical matter.
Right.
And then the other thing that he was highlighting is that scientists have always measured linear in a straight line conversion, when everything in our universe has a circular conjunction, right?
Yeah.
And you can't measure accurately
everything
straight linear.
Yeah.
You have to measure the circumference of things or how energy works, right? Through, he was talking about electrolysis, right? Electronic molecules and atoms and particulates and so forth. The motherfucker is dope. Hey, the fact that he even is able to go that deep and have debates with other scientists that are high-ranking scientists with NASA and dude respected him, that right there is revolutionary. But to my point, that came from God, bro. And so there's portals that we go into. Like I tell people all the time, like life is like Mario Brothers. And there's portals you go into. And right now we just entered into the April 4th portal. So right now this is the time where everything that you've ever dreamed that you've wanted to manifest is now. This is the age to have it. And I'll read it to you so you can fully understand what this shit is. It's called the doorway into the quantum realm. And it's beyond logic and it's absolute faith, right? It's not, it's bigger than fervent faith. And the true quantum harmonic resonance is a bold manifestation and it takes center stage of overall, right? And the catalyst is no compromise. Like, like I say, I generated $60 million of gross over a period of time, but there's no compromise that I'm not gonna give my $100 million, right?
Yeah. And
sometimes we waver and compromise, but in this portal, there's no you don't have to compromise because your knowledge is accelerated, and it's a celestial purpose. Like the closer we come into other bodies of other universes, our abilities engage and act differently. So recently, bro, like my telepathic abilities have increased. I can hear conversations that are being had. I can hear if you speak my name. And it's not just fluid, but I've been in situations very recent.
Like clairvoyant, kind of like.
Very clairvoyant, yeah, telepathic. To where like, you know, there's times where we experience where you would think about somebody and they'll call you, be like, damn, I was just thinking about you. Okay, so that is let's just say that's a far distant telepathic ability. But as we get closer to certain celestial bodies, and what I mean by that, when you look at the gravitational rotation of planets, planetary travel, like Mars is closer to Earth now. That's the reason why Elon Musk is able to do what he's doing, because we're closer to that, right, in space and time. But there's vibrational elements and different stone matters that actually accelerate us as a human race. And so right now, in this new portal, bro, you're able to generate new harmonic frequencies and balances. And when we talk about these harmonic words, the same words that Terrence is using. And so to use the Super Mario Brother concept, right? In life, you know, you got to start at a start point, jump over all the hurdles, all the little turtle eagles with the fucking wings and shit, right? You could power up with a mushroom. Have you ever ate a mushroom and powered up? I eat mushrooms sometimes, right? You know, like people put on 3D glasses to go to the movies, but our eyes can actually see 3D in real life, and that's what mushrooms give you, that ability. It powers you up. So Mario will power up when he eat a mushroom. He get bigger than life, right? And then if you know which portal to go to in them little green tubes, you could what you call transmutate yourself or astral project yourself to a whole nother space and time. That's astral projection. But at the end of the day, all you're trying to do is complete one phase of your life and get to the flagpole and warp somewhere else to get to the big monster. The big monster, Big Koopa, that's whatever demon you fighting, that's whatever battle you got. And if you could conquer that battle, you win the grill. What's the grill? The prize. If you win whatever it is that you conquering, bro, I ain't never saw a nigga lose a woman, you know what I'm saying, chasing no money, but I saw a nigga lose plenty chasing a bitch.
Yeah.
And I say specifically, chasing a bitch and losing a woman is two different things. And life to me is like Mario Brothers. And it's crazy because I had always thought about that philosophy, and I heard Slim Thug say it not too long ago.
This shit's deep, man. This shit's deep. I'm telling you, because I had no idea of what Terrence was talking about at first, but when I really like listened in and like kind of followed what he was saying, a lot of that, it was like, shit makes sense.
It's gibberish. It's gibberish to a lot of people because it's science, it's math. But when you really know what the fuck they talking about, oh yeah, it makes absolute sense. And I knew exactly what the man was talking about. And the scientists that came from NASA was really more gibberish, and his language barrier, you know. But the point of the matter is his energy towards Terrence was like, yeah, nigga, you right, and let me add to you. See, because he's amongst his peers of the society, he didn't want to condemn himself. So he's very astute in that, right? He was like, let me add to you. Let me build on your point. Bro, if they was going to debunk him, they would have been like, no, debunk.
Right.
Debunk, right?
Yeah.
It's like, let me add to you. Matter of fact, let me show you this. He was engaging him. The dude loves a student. He's a great teacher. And he loved the fact that Terrence was challenging the system. And dude even acknowledged, like, yeah, science is all wrong. To the point that, yeah, our cars drive, but they could fly. Yeah, our buildings in our life look like this, but it could be different. If they would have just got that one times one right, and then made the fundamental mathematics evolve from that, everything would have changed. And so it's just like we could bake a cake and we could get the measurement off a little bit. That don't mean we stay and eat the cake.
Right.
But the cake could have been a whole different type of cake.
Yeah. God dang. Man, I can talk to you all day, man. I can talk to you all fucking day, I swear.
Hey, I
swear.
I mean, it's just a great conversation, bro. I mean, how long we been here? We over our time?
I mean, we ain't
even got it. We gonna chop this shit up. Come on, keep it going. I mean, I got another 30 minutes.
Come on in.
You got some more questions? So anyway, you was saying you want to go to construction site. Let's talk about construction.
Yeah.
So recently, I was just awarded a bulk of lots.
What is that? What's a bulk of lots?
A bulk of lots. A lot of.
bulk.
A bulk.
Oh, okay.
A bulk of lots. A lot of lots. and I don't want to necessarily reveal too much because I don't like doing that. But I got a bulk of lots. But I'm getting ready to build an urban development project that I was awarded by RFP in a major city, and it's about a $27 million gross project. And my intentions is to be able to teach in this space. So there's a guy who I know who does very well with his campaign of teaching students and so forth, and he has a great platform. And so I reached out to my boy, and I was like, "Look, I'm a bring you in on this deal. There's enough for us both to build. I got so many lots, right? I got over 100 lots that the city gave me that were all tax abated, and they're doing a revitalization, urban development. So we won the award. My company won the award. So I have enough to share. I have a bounty, and so it was like I wanted to create a learning experience, and also I wanted to change also from just being a builder to a teacher more. And reaching more. That's why I told you I wanted to start a podcast and just be more of a voice, you know?
Yeah.
And so, with that being said, I'm going to have several of the development lots that you can come to in and out of town.
Okay.
And then there's a couple here that I'm doing that you're more than welcome to come by and look at from the start process and also in the vertical process where we got framing up and we're probably doing windows and doors and so forth.
Okay.
So whatever stage you want to see, but if you want to see actually from the ground up where it starts at, I got about 2 projects you can come look at.
Okay. Yeah. I remember last time you were here, you was telling me about this big urban development that you wanted to do.
Right.
Is this part of it?
It's not, but I'll tell you what it is. God gave me a prophecy. And I said it to say this, like at the time what I was telling you about, God had revealed certain things to me. But what I learned is that when God gives a person a vision and there's a prophecy, sometimes we don't understand the timing. So we become very vested in it, and we as human, we want things to advance. But I did the work, and it was moving, you know, and then things changed and shifted, polarities, right? And it was revealed to me that this project will happen in 2027. And that prophecy came like 3 years ago. So I've been very patient. So even though I wasn't necessarily thinking about what I'm getting ready to do was going to lead into that major development project that you're talking about, but it for right now, in the thought of a prophecy, you're always waiting for like the signals or the clues, right? And so being that this city just gave me a part of the urban development project with the infill lots, they also gave me the potential to actually be a part of the downtown revitalization, which actually involves Class A high-rise buildings and redeveloping buildings and new construction projects and part of the whole urban redevelopment process. So we're getting there. We're going to do it. And I think it's all timing.
Man.
It's all timing.
Yeah. I want to hear your perspective because I hear you speak about manifestation a lot. Like, what is your thoughts on manifestation and how can people like manifest things in their own lives?
Speaking it.
Just speaking it?
And believing it. So God in the Bible, we can say God and we can say the Bible. There's 2 different things. Because the Bible and God is completely different. But in the Bible, it says that the desires of your heart can be fulfilled. Okay, but in order for a desire to be a desire, it has to be an idea. So that's the conscious thinking. In order for you to wake up, God has to give you life. And so for that, he gives you your ability to think. And God puts on your mind what he wants you to do because he knows your purpose. Once you identify what you're thinking and it resonates with you enough that you believe it wholeheartedly, then your heart agrees with you. And when those 2 come together, you're coming into the house. But the house doesn't become whole until what we refer to as the abdomen, which is your gut or your instincts or your sixth sense and all of that, right? Until you actually agree within your whole vessel and you believe it, and you move forward, you can't manifest because the faith isn't strong enough. So when those three components come together, that's the Trinity. That's the body of Christ.
Yeah.
But Christ isn't the man that they told you Christ was. Christ is consciousness, which is Christos in Latin, which is the first origin of the word, Christos. Mm-hmm. We're all Christ-like because it's all conscious. But if you don't have the resonance of your consciousness, you can't manifest and harness the power of it. So in that body of that Trinity, right, those three components, the mind, the heart, and your gut, right? That's the temple. That's the holy temple. If you can't reach the consciousness of your abilities, you can't manifest. You can't bring it forth. So that's the magic. That's the sauce. And that's why I say, going back previously, a man who needs to be reassured by a woman is a lost man. Because he don't believe in shit himself. He can't sit out in the wilderness and be a desert dweller out in the middle of the desert with nobody there and believe that you're going to get to the other side of that motherfucker.
Yeah.
And then build or do whatever you set out to do that God told you to go do without somebody telling you you're going to do it.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying we don't all need to be reassured or we don't need, constructive criticism or constructive input. But at the end of the day, if you can't do it for yourself, then who else gonna do it? Can't nobody do it for you.
Yeah.
And then there's other elements to manifesting. People do affirmations.
What about spell? Like people write.
You can write.
Yeah.
Just like you said, spell.
Mm-hmm.
Did you mean spell like spell it out, or actually spell?
Both.
Yeah, because what a lot of people don't realize is that in elementary we have spelling tests. Mm-hmm. And we have the right spelling words. But when you look at the prefix of spelling, it's spell. And the action of the spell is the ing of casting that spell.
Yes.
And people don't understand that we cast spells all day.
Yes. Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And spells are powerful, but you have people who do dark work and light work. But this whole world is built on the magical powers. But a lot of people choose not to engage in the magic. Mm-hmm. But it's all magic.
Where did you find this information? How did you become gaining all this knowledge from it? Is it like personal research from like YouTube, or you just sit by yourself and just...
Remember I told you it's Akashic, you're born with it, right? Mm-hmm. So there's what you call an awakening and a remembrance. So when you come to this planetary system, you come from the fifth and beyond dimensions, right? Like in the womb, God chooses your purpose, right? Mm-hmm. But God prepares you with all the answers and all the keys to life that you need specifically through the DNA of your mother and your father. He brings those two characters together to give you your image, your phenotype and your genotype. But your knowledge and your Akashic understanding, Akashic meaning eschatological, like ancient, right? You could have three brothers. I got two brothers. We ain't shit alike. So sometimes, in a litter of dogs, right? You might have that one. All the dogs is black, but then was one white one. They call it a black sheep, right? Mm-hmm. But it's always that isolated one, and that isolated one comes to this world with this knowledge already. Like Nip came to this world with this knowledge already. I came to this world with this knowledge already. Elon Musk came to this world with this knowledge. Terrence Howard came to this world with this knowledge. But how you choose to unpack yourself and how you choose to consciously separate and grow your receptors can accelerate the knowledge for you, because your DNA is made up of over about 236,000 people that came before you in a geometric progression. Your mama and your daddy mamas and daddy mamas and daddy mamas, that should go up 236,000 people or so to get to you, right? Now, out of all those people, you tell me which one of them didn't do something like play a guitar, play a piano, or box, or was a mathematician or a scientist, or whatever. So you already had a DNA. All you have to do is unlock it. A great example I always use, this is an iPhone, I think 15 or 16, right? But this has accelerated, technologies and apps and all this other shit. But when you go back to the first generation principle is still here.
Which is
whatever the fucking first iPhone was.
Yeah.
Which is your great, great, great ancestor. Whatever your great, great ancestor knowledge was, by the time it got to you 16 generations later, which is this phone, everything is still here. Now, how you choose to use this phone is up to you. You know how many motherfuckers got hella apps in their phones but only go to 3 a day?
Yes.
Every day?
Yes. Yes.
But it's so much in this phone, and you could go download so many things out of this app store. So the app store is your brain. What you choose to download and how you choose to use that function is up to you. But it's all there because everything in the Gen 1 is here. So typically we see our lives in 3-4 generations, like your daddy, your grandpa, and you might know your great-grandpa if you're lucky. And then there's you. That's 4 generations. We talking about 16, my G. 16 generations is about 700 years for humans. So you got at least 700 years worth of information in you. And I know you think you only know what you know, but nigga, everything is in you. Now unpack it and use it. That's where you get the knowledge from. You don't get it out of no book, bro. Now, books are resourceful. You compound yourself with information in a specific aspect. Like there may be one particular thing you want to just study or go a little deeper dive on, then you could go get a book. And then when you move in this composite, bro, the books come to you. They like fly. They got wings. All the knowledge and all the information is going to come to you. It just drop on you. Like, for instance, you'll be watching YouTube one day, and the algorithm of the YouTube is connected to your vibration, frequency of you. And then it'll be a video pop up that you needed to see at that time. And you'd be like, when you in tune, you'd be like, damn. Like, I done seen it several times. It could be like, you know how YouTube give you a scroll of all the same videos, but it'd be that one video that pop up that don't got nothing to do with all them other ones. But it's like God gave you that video because he knew he caught you at the right time, and it's like, boom.
Yeah.
Or you can meet somebody and somebody be like, hey, man, you need to read this book. And what you seeking at that time finds you. The universe works with you to give you everything that you want, bro. But when you lost, and when you're not within your clairvoyance of yourself and you're not receptive, you don't hear shit. You know how I made most of my $1 million business deals? Just sitting at a restaurant or somewhere, minding my business, but being receptive to the voices in the room. And going up to the motherfucker that I heard say what I needed to hear them say. Like, oh, hey, did I just hear you say this? Like, yeah. Like, oh, I'm Donte Johnson. Nice to meet you. This is what I do. Oh, you. It's like when you're receptive to your environment, everything is in the environment like fruits and vegetables. You just gotta be receptive, but motherfuckers be clouded, bro. They don't be paying attention.
Yeah, because it's so many distractions in the world. It's so much noise. You know what I mean? There's so many.
But you gotta be able to separate yourself.
Yeah.
And that's why that alone time is so important, because you understand how to silence.
Yeah.
And be in silence versus calamity.
Man.
Now calamity and chaos is beautiful. I live in my home, bro. I don't have kids jumping around and screaming and running around, this, that, and the other, right? That's clamorous to me. However, though, that's a white noise for someone who's used to that, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it's distractive at the same time because you can't really focus and meditate or be within yourself. So that's the reason why people have to be like, kid time and mommy time, daddy time, right?
Yeah.
But imagine having mommy time and daddy time all the time and you productive with it. It's power there.
Yeah, it is.
That's why Jesus walked for those 40 days and 40 nights and went inside alone. That's why Moses did his mission alone.
Yeah. I feel like when I get a chick, like my power is gone. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like my focus ain't where it need to be. You know what I mean? When I'm really like dating a chick, like it feels like the best explanation is my power is gone.
And I won't say your power is gone.
That's how I be feeling though.
But I'm not gonna agree with you. I understand how you feel, but I'm not gonna say it's gone. I say what you felt prior to is suppressed. Still there. You still got your power. It's just suppressed because now you're giving grace to what else is occupying the space. So if you have one molecule by itself, that's all that it is. But when you bring another molecule together and it compounds, then it has to share that space, has to share that frequency. So you just suppress your element a little bit to make room for this one. But when you do that, you gotta know who you suppressing yourself for, so you don't feel powerless. But but women feel like that too. Like women,
Do they?
yeah.
I thought women get.
It's a lot of distraction, bro. Cause like when you by yourself and you're not in a relationship, bro, you be more focused, you be more driven, you be at the gym because your agility is different because you still have to compete. You gotta understand, you gotta compete, right? But then when you secure someone that gives you reassurance and comfortability, you're no longer competing. You're just occupying space with someone.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And then you become distracted because now your thoughts are not just about you. Your thoughts are for you and for that person.
Yeah.
There's a real balance in that.
Yeah.
I don't even fuck with it.
I'm about to get out the game too, man. Just say.
Hey, man, I'm going to be honest with you. It's dope being a bachelor, being single, being able to move about the cabin how you want to, come and go as you want to. Ain't nobody blowing your phone up, where you at, what you doing, when you coming back. But also, too, there's a certain level of peace with having companionship. But I tell people all the time, companionship and relationship is two different things.
Yeah.
Companionship is different than a relationship. And, you know, I also tell people, like, women and men, they think that they can unconditionally love each other. I completely disagree. Because love has conditions and boundaries. Like, you ain't going to be a motherfucking fool. I think there's only one thing that a person can love unconditionally, and that's their child. Because a child can do anything, and you still going to love that child. But this old funky-ass nigga, this old funky-ass dog mouth bitch come do something to you. Like, no.
You be like, I'm done.
I'm done. Yeah. And the technicality is I still love you. But I'm not in love. But no, unconditional love means you love that person the way you was when you was in love.
No matter what.
No matter what. Because you still in love with your child.
Yeah.
No matter what. So, you know, people got that shit ass backwards, bro.
Yeah. You need to get your own podcast. I definitely agree with you, man.
You think so?
100%. You need to get a female, though.
Mm-hmm.
You need to have a female with you.
So we can go back and forth on different topics. Okay.
Yeah. I can see it, man.
Yeah.
I definitely do.
In this season, I want that. I want to stack a podcast with learning, information, just general conversation with what I do as a builder and a businessman as a whole.
Yeah.
And then stack that with some other financial literacy pieces.
I can see it. 100% I can see it.
It's my level up, bro. Like, I feel like I haven't limited my potential, but we have to go through seasons and evolve in ourselves and becoming prepared for that elevated person. And sometimes our discipline and we just not ready for it because we don't want the responsibility to come with it.
Yeah.
But you get to a point where it's like, okay, it's not about me. It's not about what I want. It's about what I'm called to.
Yeah.
Or what's looking at me. You know, bro, I be getting calls from my daughter. They be like, Daddy. Like, my daughter just... Read this.
Them girls are something else, man. Them girls are something else.
Read that thing my daughter just texted me down there at the bottom.
Which one?
The last ones that I responded to.
I want to be a millionaire, multi-millionaire.
When your child, you better.
Yeah.
When your child texts you, that was her first text to me like that.
How old is she?
She's 19. And if you read the messages up, it's like my daughters are now seeking me like in a different way. It's not just like, hey, baby, you know. It's like, Daddy, I'm outside. I'm ready to go to New York. I'm trying to go to fashion school. I'm trying to be a lawyer. I want to be a doctor. My other daughter trying to go to A&M. She's trying to have a farm and raise cattle and do this. And it's like, nigga, you better have your bag right. So my kids are no longer, and this is another thing I just learned, bro. Child support, it's over at 18, but that's when adult support starts.
Man.
And so, you know, the concept is fucked up, right? It's like you work, and then you think when your kid turn 18, like you can get the money to yourself. No, nigga, your bill about to get 3 times more.
Yeah.
Yeah, because now you got adult care, and your kids are going to college, and they want what you want, and well, they want what they want, but they want the lifestyle that you're giving them. And it's like, I never realized that until my daughter went to college. And it wasn't that I was ready to quit paying and taking care of her. I just didn't realize that. I never thought about that transition from child care to adult care.
Yeah.
They bills get different. Them apartments and them cars get different.
Yeah.
And like, nigga, you gonna boss up. Like, you either gonna take care of your daughter or you gonna just supplement her. Like, not judging nobody for what they can do. But as a father and as a man, you just wanna do it. And that's why I don't trick on no bitch, man. Like, bitch, girl, I got real princesses.
Right.
Fuck you talking about a bag and this, that, and another. Bitch, you better take your ass to work. Fuck you mean? Yeah. You want princess treatment? Bitch, go to your room. I got real daughters.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Fuck, I'm looking like, but it's nothing wrong with taking care of women, no matter what you got. But my philosophy is, if you take care of a woman like that, bro, you hindering that woman. Because if your ass die, then what the fuck she gonna do to take care of herself? Now she gonna be fucking this other nigga that's taking care of her and fucking up the bag you left her. Because you didn't make that motherfucker go do something. And I don't care even if she got a job and she want princess treatment. Girl, bye. Like, I like, my philosophy is this. If you want me to buy you a Bentley, bitch, buy me a Rolls Royce. Otherwise, just buy your own motherfucking Honda. Don't even ask me. No, it's square business, though. Like, we in a different day and time. Like, I love the woman empowerment. I love that women are very successful. But act accordingly. We all got responsibilities. Y'all evolved. We evolved. Fuck you talking about princess treatment. Like, they got it fucked up. Like,
listen, I never experienced. Well, I never thought.
And then they be like, I'm a queen. Well, bitch, what the fuck is princess treatment when you a queen? Princesses is for the daughters. If you a 40-year-old woman on princess time,
your princess hours is done.
Bitch, go to your room. Them hoes coming. You can't be out here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, nah. You want to play? Go to your room. Okay, you want me to buy you ice cream and take you to the park and do all this? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then, bitch, you don't have no say so. Now, if you want to be a woman and be a queen with a voice, which everybody's have a voice, but if you really want to have a voice, you can't be on princess time, all that pampering shit.
Exactly.
You ain't gonna respect that. No woman respects the trick. All that. Hey, listen, let me tell you something.
It's a lot of responsibility being a queen.
Hey, listen, I might get some backlash for this, but I don't give a shit though. Motherfuckers don't like me as it is. But let me tell you something though, bro. A husband and a wife relationship ain't nothing but a long-term trick and a long-term hoe. Respectfully though.
Yeah.
No, I'm not shunning marriage. It's a beautiful thing if two people can find themselves engaged. But at the end of the day, it's a hoe and a trick relationship. I'll tell you why. Because as a husband, you're supposed to be a provider. And as a wife, you're supposed to be a helpmate. Or you're supposed to facilitate, the typical duties of a woman, right? Cook, clean, fuck, take care of the kids, right?
Yeah.
The man goes to work and bring the money home, right? Okay. Now, I say long-term trick and long-term hoe because they bound themselves together. She don't want another trick. He don't want another hoe. He like fucking her. She like fucking him. She get what he want. She get what she need. He get what he need, right?
Yeah.
Now watch this. Now I'm gonna tie the knot for you. I'm gonna tell you where some pimping going on, some hoeing going on. When she get mad at Big Daddy for whatever he do, right? What the first thing she gonna take away from that nigga?
That pussy.
And how you gonna get it? And how you gonna get it back?
He gotta pay. He gotta come with gifts or some shit. Yeah.
Nigga, you did?
Yeah.
That's some pimping and some hoeing.
Yeah.
But ain't no pimping going on. It's some tricking going on. But that's the pimping and the hoeing. He's the trick. Respectfully, that's your wife. You taking care of, but you still her trick. And she only there to fuck you because you paying her. Now, the day you stop paying, the day you stop acting right, nigga, she gonna go find another trick. And she gonna have a short-term trick or a long-term trick, right? So she gonna go get a nigga who may pay a couple bills. He come through, he knock her off, whatever. She get her money, she going on about her business to another short term. But when she get married, it's a long, okay, nigga, you for my forever trick. What you call a sugar daddy. Right?
Yeah.
Now, let me tell you where the pimping and hoeing came in. For the man who didn't have a long-term hoe, he had a short-term hoe. So he'd go out, catch him a little bitch for the night, get his rocks off.
Spend that money and go on about his business.
Now, listen, I tell a nigga, you paying either which way, whether you pay indirectly or directly. Nigga, because the price of pussy going $250, $300 for basic. Top end, you might pay $500, $1,500, right?
Yeah.
Now, I can show you where niggas pay that in one night and still don't get the pussy, right? So you meet a chick, right? Bad little motherfucker, she want to go to dinner. Nigga, dinner these days $350. $100 for each plate, 2 drinks, nigga. You $300 with a tip.
Yes.
Okay, now we go to the club, right? We buy a hookah if she smoke hookah. If not, you get more drinks, another $300. You got a $700 already, right? Don't pop no bottle, nigga. That's a ban. So if you pop a bottle, right, and you don't just buy drinks, right?
Yeah.
You either $1,000 or $1,500 in one night, and you still ain't got no pussy, nigga. You could have went and got you a bad bitch and just said, "Hey, bitch, come on, let's go." Yeah. What you want?
For half the price.
For half the price.
Yeah.
Either way it go, you gonna pay. You can pay indirect or direct. Now, you done sat up here and fancied her and took her all out and all this shit, and she like, okay. And I hate going to dinner, nigga, before I want to smash. The bitch gonna get full, nigga. She wanna go home and take a shit, nigga. She trying to fuck. Man, let me stop, man. They gonna be looking at me crazy.
You spent some real game, though.
Nah, it's like, why? First date, or not even the first date, but nigga, you want to smash. Why you gonna take her to eat? You gotta go fatten the frog for the next, I call it fatten the tick for the frog, right? Because she ain't fucking you the first night unless you really that nigga. Mm-hmm. So all you gonna do is fatten her up. She gonna go call her comfort, nigga. Come knock her up because you done turned her on all night, touching on her and shit, patting her and all the lusting and shit,
Yeah.
All she gonna do is on her way home call that one nigga, what you doing?
Yeah.
All you did was fatten the tick for the frog. Nigga buying her drinks all night, getting her ready. She about to go sauce off, you know what I'm saying? Her comfort, I call it the comfort dick. Every woman got some comfort dick.
Yeah.
So, when I meet women, bro, they be like, you dating, you got a girlfriend. Nah, bitch, but I'm fucking somebody.
Yeah.
Why you asking me these dumbass questions? I know you fucking somebody. So until we stop fucking somebody, don't ask me no questions. We just gonna hang out.
Yeah.
Everybody got some comfort dick and some comfort pussy somewhere. Ain't nobody that's an adult who been fucking ain't just,
right.
Unless you in a fast or you just, in your stage of celibacy, don't ask me about none of that. And I tell women all the time, I ain't gonna ask you if you got a nigga if you talking to me, because what you talking for?
Right.
Exactly. I ain't worried about that nigga.
Exactly.
I want to know if you got a girlfriend.
Yeah. I am a serial good first dater. Like, I love a good first date. Like, I am. If you want to go on a good first date, I'm the nigga.
Okay. Then what happens?
I mean, I usually get the pussy, but you know what I'm saying? But after that, I ain't shit.
Because you know what? Because the thrill is gone.
Yeah.
And you know what? I love a good date, but I'm very calculated with how I date.
Really?
Because, bro, it's not worth the money. Like, you think about it, bro. You going to spend a cool $300-$400. Now, I ain't trying to be a broke, cheap nigga, but it's just not worth the money, bro, to go out and figure out if you're going to like this motherfucker.
Right.
So, like, I don't like doing dinner dates. I try to just, like, at the least, let's go get a drink or two and get some hookah. At least I could
fill you out. Yeah.
I ain't trying to go get lazy and eat and send your fat ass home on my motherfucking money.
Yeah.
Like, at least let me get, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then another reason why I don't like doing dinner dates, because you want to take her somewhere nice to eat. Mm-hmm. And that's too romantic. Because, you want to at least do white linen.
Yeah.
That's too romantic. Because you don't want to be too romantic. She might not deserve your romance.
Yeah.
She might not deserve your romance, bro.
Yeah.
I like to keep it neutral.
See, I'm like I like an activities type first date.
Yeah, that's cool too.
Let's go to Top Golf.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let's go to the what's the little mini golf shit? You know what I'm saying?
That's cool too. Activity is cool, but traditionally when we think about a date,
it's going out to dinner.
Sitting at the table with candlelight, having a conversation.
Yeah.
Being romantic.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna take her to a real nice dinner date until I know I'm really fucking with her. Other than that, bitch, meet me over here at the hookah spot.
Yeah.
Cause I just want to hang out and have fun. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And let me see how you really gonna vibe.
Yeah.
Cause I don't. If you don't have my type of energy, you're not rocking like me. Then we ain't got shit in common no way.
Right.
You ain't got shit. You go fuck with them weird niggas. You know the type of niggas you like.
Yeah. Oh shit, man. Let's get out of here, man. Yo, Donte Johnson, man. Leave your social again so people can get a hold of you, man.
Yeah, you can tap in with me at international_DK on Instagram. I don't do TikTok and all that other shit.
Man, you need a TikTok.
TikTok?
Man.
Really?
What? They promote your shit like.
Yeah.
Man.
I just be on the social media on the Instagram.
Man, I'm telling you, one of my homeboys, Joseph, that I had on the podcast, he told me about TikTok probably about a year ago now.
I just always thought TikTok and Snap was like you know how we generationally fade out?
Yeah.
Like how Facebook is for the old motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I feel like Instagram is mine. And then I know TikTok be, you know.
TikTok be booming, man.
Yeah?
Yeah. It give you some.
So you got you one?
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll get you some good exposure.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because TikTok will promote it. Like, it's so different from Instagram.
The algorithms is different.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah. So, man, if you can, get you a TikTok, man.
I'm going to do that.
You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, man, I appreciate you having me on, bro.
For sure, man. For sure. I've been trying to get this back, you know what I mean? Get us back in the same room.
Yeah.
For at least what?
Since we saw each other in Houston?
Yeah.
Yeah. You went to Cali, I was in Houston, and we supposed to lock it up.
Yeah. So good to have you back, man.
I appreciate
we
being
locked in, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. Yo, man, this has been the Tap In Podcast. Thank y'all for tapping in with us. Until next time, holla.
Boom.